All right, guys, here's the deal. I'm not going to make you suffer or punish you to make you watch another Eric and Az video all the way through. I've already done it. I did it for you. You don't have to do it. You can thank me in the comments. This is the thumbnail from a recent Eric and Az video taken from their pop culture podcast where they're not engaging in pop culture, but they feel the need to talk about it. Making fun of the reshoots for Captain America 4, Captain America Brave New World. And the reason why we're not going to watch their video specifically is because even though I do want to talk about them, I want to talk about this entire sort of movement against Marvel and Disney. And in general, how it's like an unobtainable goal for Marvel or Disney to ever sort of cater to this community ever again. It's not going to happen. These guys are not going to be happy, bro. They're not. They're not watching this stuff. They're not paying for movie tickets. If they are watching them, they're watching them illegally online. They're not watching the shows. They're not engaging with the cartoons. They're not doing any of that. So even if this movie were to come out and it were a 8, 9, we'll even go like a high 7, like a high 7 out of 10. Even if that were the case, it wouldn't matter because it's not what it's about for these guys. And this particular thumbnail and this entire thought process about how much money they're spending to make a movie or a TV show or something like that, they're so hyper fixated on this. It's just strange. I tell you this, when I go and I buy my tickets and I head out to the movie theaters, I want to be entertained. I want to enjoy what I'm going to watch. I don't give a shit how much money these movies are making at the end of the day. If I like something, I like it. The value of whatever it is that I'm watching is based on how I feel about it, not how much money the corporations, the studios, the actors are making from this. I've said it so many times. It's a weird fucking way to view the quality of media. It's very weird. It's this sportification of media where everything has to be like who has the highest score, who, which team did the best. It's not about the actual art itself. And it's really obvious with these guys. Let's talk about the hypocrisy here. I want to keep this moving quickly. I don't want this to be a super long video. So I've been watching Eric and Az, unfortunately, for a very long time. There's videos on my channel where they've talked about this before. You can go back and watch it, plug for some of my old videos. If you're finding me for the first time, which by the way, subscribe. I'm trying to hit 3K by the end of the year. Don't know if I'm going to do it, but I'd like to do it. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a like, leave a comment. But some of the critiques from these guys is that Marvel doesn't listen to fans. They don't listen to critics. They don't do quality control. All they care about is getting out as many things as they can every year. And they don't give a shit about any of that. They don't want to spend money to make sure something is right. That was I don't say the original. It was one of the earlier complaints about Marvel. Again, I've talked about this before. Live streams and videos. But now when Marvel's like, hey, we've done some test screenings with this movie, it's not hitting the marks we want, we're going to go back and keep doing this until we get it right, regardless of how much money we put into it. Because I think at the end of the day, they know there's a lot of controversy around this film. They want to make sure they get it right. And you could say, oh, they're doing it because they want to make more money. Yes, of course, they're a business. But also, they're spending money to make sure that the fans like it. Because they could just put it out as it is and say, you know what, if people don't like it, they don't like it. We're just going to put it out and let it go. They're not. They're trying to make the best thing they can. So now they're doing that. Now they're doing quality control. Now they're listening to critics, people that have seen early screenings. They're doing that. They're trying to make a better film. And now we're going back to how much money they're spending to make it. How they're going to lose so much money on this movie. So again, unobtainable goal. There's conflicting ideas here. You can't expect every single movie that is made to come out and the best thing you get is the first script, the first take, the first cut. All of those things are perfect. No reshoots, no multiple filmings of scenes, nothing like that. Everything is perfect first time it goes out. We maximize our money. No, that's not how Hollywood works. Okay, it doesn't work that way. Most blockbuster movies have multiple cuts, multiple reshoots. It happens. It's all about how much money you're spending and how quickly you can get it right. but they're still trying to do it. And although I've said before, you can criticize Disney and Marvel for a lot of shitty things, but you should also be able to give them a shout out when they're doing the right thing. I think this is the right thing. I think trying to get this movie right is the most important thing, considering there's so much riding on the future of the MCU based on these next 2 or 3 films. So they're concerned about quality. So for me, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But again, even if this movie came out and nailed it, it was really good, and it made its money back, right? It didn't make $1 billion. It didn't make 1.4, 1.5 billion. Made its money back, and Disney's happy with it, and the movie's a good movie. Even if that were to happen, these guys need the outrage content, so there will never be a time where they concede that Disney has done something correctly. I'm telling you, I've watched a ton of Eric and Az videos, a ton of them. And they love to just be nostalgic about phase 1. They would love to go back to just like mostly white characters, mostly male characters, and get away from everything diverse in Marvel. They would love for that to happen. And that's just not a reality. I don't see Marvel doing that. Will we ever get like an OG Avengers back? Yes, but then the goalpost will change. At that point, it'll be, well, we wanted the original actors. We wanted Chris Evans, right? We wanted Robert Downey Jr. It's always going to be something else. The goalpost will constantly shift. But this concept from this space of the fandom, because they're not really fans, you know what I'm saying, is that everything that these companies do is anti-consumer. They want to talk about how these companies don't care about the fans, you know, they hate the fans, they want them dead, blah, 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 this is their thing. And you see something like this and you say, well, look, yeah, they're trying to make money, but they also want the movie to be good, apparently, by going back and doing this. So they're listening to critics. They still can't concede on that. This is where we are. And again, these guys are not watching these things. They're not like, we're fans. I'm going to see this movie. I know a lot of people that are excited about this movie. I know they don't want to believe it, but it's true. People are talking about it online. Whether it's Harrison Ford or whatever it is, people are excited about seeing this movie. They want to see what it is, love it or hate it. And I think that's a good thing. That's creating buzz for the film. I don't know. This is one of those situations where, you know, it's an unobtainable goal. And people like Eric, who are hyper obsessed with money spent versus how much money comes in, and they do not care about the art at all. They don't care about the fact that the movie is trying to do something. It has some sort of story or setup for the future of the MCU. They don't care about any of that. In their minds, it's cooked. It's already done. But they're still talking about it. It's crazy. It's crazy to me.